Hey guys, welcome back to part 8, I think it is, of Dear Try to Light. So, last episode, we met with Meyer, and there's a little makeup tension. And then, the cops ruined it. Because he was taking forever, and he totally forgot they were there. So, then we returned back, and we had to tell Leslie what happened. And so, now, let's get into it. Blanket. And I got my kind of run bear that I made yesterday. Build a bear. I really liked. Because I was like, yeah, I'll make a bear. Okay. Don't know why I said it. I just did. Okay. Let's go. This is the second day in a row you've come in looking like a bed-rattled cat. Do you need an intervention? I'm fine. Just couldn't sleep. Christ, something really is messed up with when Leslie shows up at work before me. He lets out a long, playful sigh, shaking his head before taking a sip of his coffee. Well, don't keep me in suspense. Your escapades last night, of course. What happened? What did you find out? Ooh. Oh, yeah, right. With my own coffee mug in hand, I sink down in my chair, clearing my throat. Going to have to leave out some details here, I think. My new friend, Meyer Eastman, well, he needs some information about the powerful mob players in the city. Seems like he's really in the loop, huh? The already pale Leslie seems to suddenly grow a shade paler. He slowly sets down his coffee and leans forward over his desk, brow furrowed as he stares at me. Did you say Eastman? Sure did, boss. Why? Why? Yes. Are you losing your hearing already, boss? You're not that old because Eastman is the man running all of Cleveland. That's why. Leslie raises his voice in excitement and frustration, slamming his fist down on his desk. Eastman. But I already knew that because I did Leslie's route and all of Cleveland? Yes, all of Cleveland. I found out about him last night at the party I went to. He's well liked and hugely powerful, and most of Cleveland's Italian mafia is terrified of him. I don't know how on earth he managed to get in his good books, but Eastman is the key to taking down this city's liquor business. In fact, I think that Speakeasy itself might be his main base. After we get a bit more information, we should set up a raid. Probably tell him that he knows who I am, right? I figured Meyer was powerful, but I had no idea he was running all of Cleveland. Lizzie's right, obviously. Our department is supposed to be working with the FBI to enforce prohibition here, which means shutting down criminal outfits. This should be a huge step forward. If that's the case, then why do I feel so reluctant? It's not like Meyer trusts me. In fact, I'm sure he doesn't. But I can't imagine putting him behind bars. Last night was probably just a game. His attempt to manipulate me onto his side. And yet, it didn't feel like that at all. Oi, Richard, are you spacing out? Do you need more coffee? No. I snapped back at the moment, breathed by a curious. I sat back at the moment, greeted by a curious Leslie staring at me quizzically. There's someone shouting, so if you can hear it, sorry. If you can't, just ignore it. No, I was just thinking, boss. We're going about this the wrong way. The wrong way? You have a different idea? With a nod, Leslie tilts his head to the side, motioning for me to continue. If there's anything I can give him credit for, it's that he's usually willing to listen to what I say, even if I'm the junior partner. Let me keep talking to Easton. I'll get more details on him, I promise. We shouldn't just throw him in jail. Not yet. Leslie stares at me in silence. Does it really sound that strange? Did you hit your head on your way home last night, Richard? This is a mob boss we're talking about. He's dangerous, not in line to be the next pope. I don't know what he said to you, but you shouldn't believe him. Just because he hasn't killed you yet doesn't mean he won't. Once you've outlived your usefulness, haven't you thought about that? His frustrated, skeptical words echo my own thoughts, as much as I hate to admit it. Maybe it's stupid to try and deny them, but before I can control myself, I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind. What is it? He's not a murder machine, Leslie. He's not a one-sided villain who was born bad. Well, at least it wasn't me kissed him. Sure, most mobsters out there are ruthless bastards, but so are a lot of normal people. Mafia guys aren't some special breed, evil to their rotten cores. Meyer, he's a businessman. He uses the law for profit. I know that, and I'm not saying I think it's right. But after talking to him, spending time with him, seeing how he's just a guy like any other, I'll be damned if I don't have more sympathy for him than whatever rich old high bender is handing out orders in the FBI. Leslie stays quiet, biting his bottom lip, a nervous habit of his, and avoiding my gaze for a time. I never raised my voice at him, nor anyone else for that matter. No, either. Rare for me, too. I really feel a little sheepish about it, but I don't know how else to express my change of heart. Finally, Leslie rubs at his eyes. With one hand gently sighs, a small smile twitching at the corner of his lips. He stands up from his desk and walks over, giving me one of those affectionate "what am I going to do with you" looks. Guess I am not all that surprised. You've always been compassionate and honest, probably why you're a terrible liar. He pauses, reaching out to gently ruffle my hair. I'm still worried, greasing his brow, but I think he's trying his hardest to believe in me. If you really, really think this man isn't out just to screw us over, and he'll be of use to the investigation somehow, then I suppose I'm willing to go along with it, for a little while at least. Boss. A little while, I said. Hey, what did happen? I jump out of my chair and pull Leslie into mine, tightly squeezing his wiry frame. He stiffens for a moment, but eventually wraps his arm around me too, softly patting my back. I sure hope you know what you're doing, Richard. If something even ever happened to you, well, let's just say I have a hard enough time living with myself already. Why? Because you're so high maintenance? Exactly. You know how many times a day I have to feed myself? It's very difficult. And having guilt on my shoulders won't help things any. I'll be fine, boss. Don't worry about me. As we pull apart, I gaze down at Leslie's face for a moment. He still doesn't look fully convinced, and it's perfectly reasonable. We're paid to be suspicious. I'll bring him around to the idea eventually. If everything works out, he's open-minded about just anything given enough time. Except vegetables, maybe. After we discuss things a little more, Leslie and I settle about our usual routine of paperwork calls and more paperwork. It's not like our work normally flies by, but today never seemed especially long. At last, evening rolls around. When I head outside, my feet start to take me down a familiar road before I even realize it. It's going to speak easy. Welcome, sir. Please enjoy your night. Loud music rushes over me in a wave. A familiar sea of dancers, lights, and sparkling glasses. This place is starting to grow on me. Nope. So I am surprised I spot Meyer already standing by the bar, a cup of coffee in his hand as he chats with the bartender. Should I go up to him? I don't want to come off too strong. Maybe I should casually strike up a conversation with someone else and wait for... Oh, he notices. As I mull over my plan, Meyer's gaze meets mine. He instantly breaks into a warm smile, beckoning me over. Phew. I wander towards the bar and step up beside him, clearing my throat to buy time as I figure out what to say. Well, it seems like my detective wandered back to me. Did your flock of officers decide to come along today, too? No, I left them at home with the sitter. Good, I can't tell you how disappointed I was when they decided to interrupt. I'm sure it was too. His suggestive, airy murmur sends a tingle down the back of my neck. At least I wasn't the only one who was disappointed. Yeah, well, I was really looking forward to the rest of that cake. Mm-hmm. I bet you were. I'm afraid I enjoyed the rest of it by myself, but I was thinking of you all the while. Does that make you feel any better? Not one bit. Meyer lets out one of his deep chuckles, low and comforting. It always seems like his sly, evasive mask melts away for a split second whenever he laughs, betraying something vulnerable. Listen, Richard, if you prefer, we can always linger out here and talk. As much as I want to savor all of you in private, I'm more than happy to just enjoy your company, discussing whatever flights of fancy we have. I really shouldn't have said that. I imagine my seductive air of mystique is all but ruined for you by now. Seductive? No, I hadn't even. Never mind. His little lightly brushes mine underneath the bar and out of sight. He's so bold, this guy. I can see how he got into his line of work, no doubt about that. Actually, I want to ask you some more serious questions. Privacy might work better. Just, as a precaution. Oh, of course, I have no doubt that your reasons are entirely... Ah, it's the cops. I did what? What are you talking about? What is happening? At that moment, the speakeasy door flies open as a small group of officers rush in. Screams echo through the parlor after the music cuts off, but the cacophony quickly goes silent. These men can't even reach their guns. The officers are already aiming their own. What? Leslie. And at the head of the group stands Leslie. Richard. The second our eyes meet, he rushes over to me, releasing a huge sigh of relief. Richard, thank God you're not hurt. I thought for sure that... We had an agreement, Leslie, didn't we? How can you just storm in here after me? Don't you trust me? When I managed choked accusation, Leslie just shakes his head, eyes narrowed. It's not about trust, Richard. It's not even about the job. To hell with information gathering. The thing I care about most is keeping you safe. Well, you're too honest, too trusted, and I can't even let you run around with people like this, even for the sake of an investigation. He gestures at Meyer angrily, apparently having guessed his identity already. Leslie was really that worried about me? I knew he was still concerned, I just didn't think he'd go this far. I probably didn't think it was a setup. I would try it. Meyer, who's been entirely silent this whole time, watches us with carefully measured expression. How can he be so calm? He had no idea this was going to happen. Did he? Gentlemen, I believe there's been some severe miscommunication. You bet there has. Please, Mr. Leslie, tell your men to lower their weapons. Then we can discuss things calmly without the threat of accidental bloodshed. Agreed? Leslie hesitates. There's a very strange degree of trust going on here, but I get the sense that neither of them wants it to end in violence. I know Leslie hates her and anyone, even criminals, and Myra doesn't seem the type to enjoy it either. Understood. He signals to his officers, who slowly, reluctantly lower their guns. The tension in the room eases a little bit, though it's still far from calm. Let me say first, Mr. Leslie, that I entirely understand your concern for your partner's safety. I don't know what's happening there. But you see, after our friend Richard here showed up the other night, I was struck with an idea. I know he was a detective before he so much as walked in the door. Your informant's working for me, so I decided to have a chat with him. You mean that was... Don't get me wrong, Richard. I was enjoying every second of it. But I've been looking for a way to work out an arrangement with the law in Cleveland for some time. You're a hard-headed sort here, but let me tell you, he exhales a breath between his teeth, gently shaking his head. Richard, however, I could tell he was made for something different, not so hell-bent on enforcing the Volstead Act. You're not just the type to be bought either. I was intrigued. So I thought I'd try to work out a deal as is my way, as I was supposed to be the beginning of that deal, but... Well, I was enjoying the company so much that I thought to myself, what harm can it be to wait a little while longer? Oh. When Myers' glimmering eyes settle on me, I feel my heart skip a beat. Maybe several. He invited me back to make a deal, but it's probably something more because he enjoyed my company. So he really believed he wouldn't try to arrest you? It was a calculated risk, of course. Mark casually waves one hand. The way he keeps this kind of sane Freud, even while surrounded by the law, no wonder he's a leader. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but I like to make big gambles, and usually they pay off. But I've done my research on your backgrounds, your past jobs, and you wouldn't simply raid my venue without showing a few of your cards first. You'd say the chips landed where I thought they might. Leslie rubs his cheeks with a hand, blinking rapidly as if to try and understand everything we just heard. I didn't blame him. I knew Meyer was sharp, but I had no idea he planned everything out ahead of time. You know, even though we're the ones with the guns out, I can't shake this feeling that we played right into your hand. You really do live up to your reputation, don't you? As expecting Leslie to be fierce, but instead he seems more impressed than anything. I would be impressed too. Is it possible he actually took some of my words to heart back in the office? You mentioned a deal earlier. Can I explain what kind of deal we're talking about? I was hoping you'd ask that. A particularly satisfied smirk curls on Myers' lips. The type of man wears time. Oh, there's nothing else. The type of man wears when he's just won cards. Why don't we discuss matters privately on neutral ground? I'll even let you pick the spot, as all of us disarmed, with a few of our men waiting outside, just for precautions. A moment, if you don't mind. Leslie grabs my sleeves and pulls me aside, leaning up to whisper in my ear. You really trust him enough for this? Normally I'd say it's suicide, but this Meyer, he's not like any other man I've ever met. It's like talking to the chief of a big corporation, not a mafia leader. He scratches his head, clearly baffled. I yawned. It's not like I can blame him. I felt the same way when I first met Meyer the other night. I know he doesn't mean us any harm, boss. He's still a gangster, I can't deny that, but I paused swallowing. Where did word things delicately, or else Leslie might catch on. I think he generally wants to work out a deal with us. All of this would be way too much trouble otherwise. Hmm. My thoughts exactly. Okay. My thoughts exactly. You think we should hear him out then? Someone. With hesitation, I nod. Maybe it's an incredibly stupid decision, but I can't bring myself to believe all of last night was just a means to an end. You don't mind me saying, Mr. Leslie, I rather take precautions. Meyer pipes up airily. We both glance over towards him. Should the two of you not show up in perfect health tomorrow, I'm certain I'll have a big hassle on my hands, and that's not what I want, I assure you. You really did do your research, didn't you? It's a favorite hobby of mine. So that means you know what size underwear Richard wears. Boss! I'm afraid you'll have to banter for that information. Oh, you drive a hard bargain, do you? I like that. Great, just great. After a little more discussion, the three of us settle on a hotel room for our meeting spot. The unfortunate patrons who had to witness all that, well, they're sent home and promised free drinks when they come back. In this day and age, that's probably enough to risk being shot. Once that mess is sorted out, the three of us head to the hotel with our respective men. Didn't even begin to imagine how tonight will end, but I have to hope for the best. What do you think the deal's gonna be between them and everything? Well, if you like and want more, like, comment, and subscribe. See ya. Bye.